the street, case on the news.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is...
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the London Black Knights. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check.
They run the counter. Evans. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Let's go, defense.
They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Santos. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
Check 59. Mike is 59.
From the 50, Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Tries to hit Jennings, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is ready to have.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
91.
He'll look to throw. Going up top. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. And a huge play that time. 45 yards. Now Cook. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
30 base. 54.
On second down, it's Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Newton, he'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Santos. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this will be taken at the 13. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
On 1st down, it's Benson. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing is Newton. And Jennings has it. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Gary Jennings, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, it wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And out now, here come the Bengals. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 23. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. An NFL update. They're in the second quarter in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. Lamar Jackson leading the charge offensively. Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. And how about that for just running out the clock? Newton on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Newton. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. So we reach halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after this. And he's going to go down again. Devin Bush, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season. They'll run it now out of the gun.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down. So do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. Wide open receiver, complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. These guys have... punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big play there for the Bengals. 45 yards on the ground. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. They find some open field here. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Ready, break. Check line 54. Line 54.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Back to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And it's for pride now, but the Bengals get a bit closer. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Completes it to Jennings. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Benson pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And quickly they get to the line. Here's a 2nd and 7. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, but now it'll be 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 42. First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 38, Newton. This is Jennings. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On first down, it's Benson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest work.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Gary Jennings with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Santos. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. And it's caught by Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 more yards there and another first down. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
He's coming. Double up.
Here's Newton. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 33 yards that time. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Newton. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. Newton to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And now he's at that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive goes 8 plays.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
Hey, check 20. Hustle. Mike 5'9". Watch the screen.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing here, Newton. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours.